Now let's break down focus. Again, I told you it's an acronym that I use that stands for forgetting outside circumstances and uncontrollable situations. So the forgetting is the biggest thing. Forgetting isn't always not applicable to every situation, but it's forgetting for the moment. So this is something, there's a trick I used to have, or a thing I used to have my players do when they came to practice. And we'd have a focus box, and on the note card, there'd be note cards in the box, and I'd have them write down something that is on your mind as they came to practice. But I needed them to be present in the moment at practice. So in order for you to be present in the moment at practice, I need you to not be worried about all the other things. So sometimes it's not forget forever, it's just forget for right now. So I'd have them write down on the note card, math test tomorrow, trouble with a relationship, whatever the case may be, and they can put it in the box. They put in the focus box, and it allows them to walk into practice to be present at practice. And then what happened was sometimes they would either forget it was there and they go back and pick it up, and you can pick up the worry on your way out, but I need you to be present. So forgetting is allowing you to be present in the moment, allowing you to be present with what's going on. The outside circumstances, if it doesn't have anything to do with right now, if it is going to impede my ability to execute on whatever I have to execute on this moment, I have to forget about it, right? And again, it's not forget forever, it's just forget for right now, because it doesn't apply to what's going on. It's not going to help me execute on this specific thing, on whatever the task at hand is. So I have to forget that outside circumstance. The you, uncontrollable. Whew. Uncontrollable is the biggest thing, y'all. I have to make sure I am not focusing on uncontrollable situations. And this is the biggest one regardless, because if I can't control it, why am I focusing on it? Too often we focus on situations that we can't control. On things other people say, other people's energy, anything that got to do with anybody else. It's outside of my control. And so early on in around 19, I started to realize, you know what? Like the uncontrollable piece, I cannot create. I no longer started creating goals and expectations around things that I couldn't control. Literally, like I have a drill, and hit me up in the comments or something if you'd like for me to send you this drill. I'll put it up on the website, and you can download the document that allows you to do it. But I created a focus box. Inside the box is everything that I can control. Outside the box is everything that I can't control. So I learned early on as an entrepreneur, as an athlete, that I can't control people that work with me, people that want to hire me, people that want to be around me. I can't control it. So I had to realize if I was going to have a healthy mindset that stayed the way that I want it to be, that stayed fixated on being a blessing to other people, stayed fixated on being positive, I need to make sure that I focused on the right things. I focused on everything that had to do with me and nothing that had to do with anybody else. So the uncontrollable piece is the biggest piece that gives us peace. Pew. Uncontrollable piece is the piece that gives us peace. If I feel like my soul is disrupted, I have to check, am I trying to control something that I don't have any control over? Am I mad about a result of something that I ultimately had no control over in the first place? Right? For athletes, this looks like trying to be voted first team all league or something like that. And ultimately, it's up to other people. You can control your effort, but it's up to other people who vote you in, right? Like as an athlete also, I'm going to work super duper hard. I want to be a starter. Ultimately, it's up to your coach. You know, for somebody who's working, you may say, oh man, I'm up for this promotion. I'm going to work really, really hard. That ultimately it's up to somebody else. I'm working really, really hard to do these podcasts, but I can't control how many views they get. I don't control the algorithm. I don't control other people that's doing it. As a confidence coach, I may want to work with so many people one-on-one and do so many workshops and keynotes and trainings, and I want all these people to work with me, but I ultimately cannot control it. I don't write the checks for other organizations. I don't do all that. If it was up to me, but I can't focus on the things I don't control. And so if you want to increase your peace, increase your focus on the things that you have control on and let go of the uncontrollables. Okay? The situations is just tied to uncontrollable situations. There's so many things that happen in life that's like, you know what? And again, it varies. There's a spectrum. But a lot of times you will have more peace when you focus on situations that you can control. And when a situation occurs, it's less about the situation and often more about how you respond to the situation. Now, obviously that varies, but a lot of times in life, it's not about the situation itself. It's about how do you decide, how will you decide to respond to the situation that happens to you? The next step will be based off of your response, okay? So here's the thing. A lot of times I think it's important for us to focus on the right thing, okay? Find something to focus on. When you are focused on one thing and you're focused on the right thing and you're able to put all your energies towards that thing, this is going to increase your ability to execute because you're giving all your energies toward this one specific thing, right? You're giving all your energies towards that thing that deserve and is worthy of all your energy. This leads me to the thought process of multitasking. A lot of times we try to force our brain to do too many things at one time. And we have a lot of times tricked ourselves into thinking that this is a good thing, but this actually is not a good thing. Multitasking decreases our efficiency. Focusing on one thing increases your efficiency. So even though you probably like, oh no, I can multitask, I can do da-da-da-da-da-da. You can't, y'all, because our brain literally is like, can only be really good at doing one thing at a time. So what does that boil down to? That boils down to a time management, a time mindfulness thing. And a lot of times, and I talked about this a couple episodes ago, as I talked about capacity. I talked about decision fatigue and perfectionism and doing too much, right? And burnout. Oftentimes we burn out because we're trying to multitask way too much. And our brain is like, stop doing that. But I found that when I narrow in my focus and I do one thing, I focus on one task at a time, it's easier for me to get it done right, only have to do it once, not have to come back to it. I didn't make any mistakes as I wasn't trying to do 4 other things at a time. And it is so easy to try to do this and that. We're all guilty of it. I know we are. But when you can train your brain to be more focused on one thing, you will find that your execution increases, that you're a high performer, that your energy lasts longer because you've trained your brain to focus in on one thing.